It's okay. Off the mic. It's okay. Off the mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, politico, this one not the off in mind. And in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. My ego don't come. My people make we shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses. My ego don't come. My ego die politico. My ego don't come. This one not the off in mind. My ego don't come. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh. My egun don't come. My people make you shout. My egun don't come. Man of the masses.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, wherever you're watching. This is Mayegun.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í.
Thank you so much for joining me. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Let us gather together again and learn one or two things as we progress into the Armageddon of Boko Haram.
Mayegun diary politico. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary.
Remember, you have to share the broadcast. You have to invite your friends, including those not friendly friends of yours. Tell them, Mayegun today.
Ani esunraki.
Mayegun today.
Mayegun today. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki.
Mayegun today.
Ani esunraki.
Mayegun today.
Lórí Facebook.
Tell them, share the broadcast. I'm sharing it too. We want to ask them tonight, what exactly does the Arewas really want from the rest of Nigeria? Maybe if we know it, maybe we can give it to them and everyone can have his peace. They don't want restructuring. They don't want the South to have a resource control. They don't want a new constitution. They don't want you to have your own state police. They don't want you to keep your VAT. They don't want you to keep your resources. But they want power. They only contribute terrorism. We can use this opportunity to ask them tonight, what exactly do they want?
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Ayé Ṣọ́lájì. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Ayé Ṣọ́lájì. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Ṣọ́lájì. Ayé Ṣọ́lájì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Ṣọ́lájì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Ṣọ́lájì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Máyégún ti.
You can dance all night. The video, the exact audio is on Mayegun's Diary Political. And indeed, you can go on there and download it. Download it. It's a very beautiful song, a great jam and all that. But this is where we're going to start tonight. For you all to understand that when the Southern Nigeria came together and they said they were going to ban open grazing, and they make laws to make that happen. But in practice, ladies and gentlemen, the open grazing ban in Southern Nigeria is only good on paper. The battle to really stop them is another thing entirely. But it is not because of no other thing than the #1 law officer of Nigeria has this mindset about the action that led to the Southern Nigeria to say, we are going to ban open grazing. We're going to stop the movement of these cows causing problems here and there. And this whole destruction, all that, yeah, we're going to stop that or control it by banning the movement of cows and food. But the #1 law officer of Nigeria actually disagrees. And that is why we are where we are today.
To operate, the autonomy to operate, then certainly you cannot, you do not have a legitimate right to clamor, to perhaps agitate for any restructuring. So, because you are not a believer in allowing the process to operate optimally in terms of taking its natural course.
So for you, restructuring call is dead on arrival.
I don't even understand what they are talking about restructuring against the background of denial of the other existing structures to operate.
So they also called, that they asked and they said, actually, that they've banned open grazing across southern region of the country. What's your view on that?
Well, it's about constitutionality. Within the context of the freedoms expressed in our constitution, enshrined in our constitution, can you deny a right of a Nigerian? For example, it's as good as saying, perhaps maybe the northern governors coming together to say that they prohibit spare parts trading in the north. Does it hold water? Does it hold water for a northern governor to come and state expressly that he now prohibits spare parts trading in the north?
But when the governors came together and said, this is the problem that we've seen, and this is the solution, and they felt, look, the solution will be stop the open grazing across the land, stop the transportation by foot of cattle.
If you are talking of a constitutionally guaranteed right, the better approach to it is to, perhaps, you have spoken earlier about the constitutional amendment, is to go back to ensure the constitution is amended. The constitution, freedom and liberty of movement, among others, is established by the constitution. If by an inch you want to have any compromise over it, the better approach is to go back to the National Assembly. Open grazing.
Go back to the National Assembly, populated by all manner of people who sit there every day, right? And they couldn't, for the sake of those who are the victims of terrorism in northern Nigeria, for their sake, ask that the military should arrest Boko Haram, arrest Malami, arrest Oshimade, arrest everybody who are shielding and protecting terror sponsor in Nigeria. But the same National Assembly there, they are what? They are there sharing whatever they can share to themselves. Next year, they plan to take 134 billion from your budget for just people who are less than 1,000. So he knows that if you take something like that there, and in fact, they took it there, Yetiala cried onto the National Assembly as Malamu directed them. But did you hear what he said about restructuring? Let me tell you something. A country where, right, things that actually divide countries, that all of you should know, that no matter, even if you are not a victim yet, right, you see, things that destroy countries start from injustice, inequality, inequitable distribution of wealth. Now, the gap between the rich and poor, powerful and the powerless, and the lawlessness, where you have one law for some, other law for others, in the same country, yeah, where you have a corrupt system rigged from grassroots to top. You will never have any unity there. If you have any unity, it's just a mirage, like you've had all these years until these charlatans took over power in Nigeria. People are dying as we speak today. And you'll be wondering that, wait, let's say those who are benefiting from the rot, those who are enjoying whatever they are currently gaining from your carcass and all of that, are unbothered, unconcerned. You ask yourself, what about others, like the religious body? I'm talking about you have a society where you have a rigged system. Then you also have the collaborators, the enablers of that rigged system. So this is where you have all those who call themselves religious leaders, where they could have come in. The government muzzled everybody, and everybody can see what they are doing, but they dare not talk about it or even challenge it. Then you have the religious body who are also busy ignoring all this death. You see, every time you read it in the news, 20 people killed, 30 people killed, 50 people killed, all those events, like I do say, yeah, it is always about, if you put them one by one and you put yourself in their shoes, right, you won't go out there and preach a false hope simply because it hasn't happened to you yet. But it is all rigged. What did they do? They managed to then use that religion to give you an alternative reality. An alternative reality that makes the current reality, even though it's bad, it's terrible, it always look like, well, it's never going to be like where I'm going to. Alternative reality, taking your mind off in order not to challenge the whole thing. Now, the people who brought us here to the state of this total collapse, economy has collapsed, education has collapsed, infrastructure has collapsed, even security has completely collapsed, right? Now, those who brought us here, championing it, they are still pretty much saying that you have no right to say you want to share power with them. I'm talking to you now. Those of you are actually like one Nigerians. People are dying. You know about that. And let me tell you something. What I have found about Nigerians over the years, is that many have grown to become cold-hearted without even knowing it. Let me explain that. Empathy, feelings, love, things you share that make humanity real and in fact life worth living. So Nigerians have grown over the years through different kind of government policies that has reshaped their lives, psychological manipulation, and so many other things that they have done. To Nigerians, they have grown cold. People don't tend to feel so kind of too concerned to act. when they are not the ones affected by any vices we talk about. They have grown so cold to the point that people agree that speaking up alone is a risk that is not worth taking, because the people you want to take that risk for, I want to speak up, I want to speak up. They will tell you, who sent you? Just same way, they will blame you in death and then defend those who killed you. Conditioning, they call it social conditioning, psychological conditioning, things that make people feel less empathy for others. For example, when somebody says, oh, my children are going to go to bed tonight hungry because I've not got food for them. Every day, you see less and less and less people really interested because of what Nigeria has done to you psychologically, to the point that even hearing that children will go to bed hungry, when people even have that money, they will still suspect that person. Like, maybe he's lying. Probably he is. Now, Nigeria has conditioned people to the point that when people hear that, the so person have been kidnapped and all of that, some will be like, oh, really? Oh, why did what is he looking for in Sokoto? Why is he going to this and that? Oh, they killed that person on his way to Kogi. Kidnappers, waiting self they go find for Kogi. You know, they read the news. So this kind of feeling, empathy, goes all along to everything that Nigerians are concerned about. And more reason why, when the news of 28 people killed at at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's house by the Nigerian military, it is the same feeling, like they deserved it. Some believe they deserved. In fact, majority of them believe they deserved it. Do they expect the government to just continue to look at them shouting Biafra? Do you expect any government to just look away? They are not okay. Some of them will even try to be kind of sound like they are intelligent enough. They will say, even though I don't support government shooting them, killing them, but there's no government that is going to allow them to become Boko Haram. That is conditioning that Nigeria has done to you. And it is the same conditioning that you have in northern Nigeria that will make you ask yourselves that all these killings, what exactly is making people to feel so powerless in northern Nigeria with the level of the number of people living there? They told us social conditioning. What stopped them from rebelling against the people who promised them heaven and earth, that they will keep them safe? And now, many of them are now living in refugee camps all over the place. Many of them are now widows, widowers. Children are now orphans. Some of them are like thousands of kilometers away from home, running away from terrorists. Some in neighboring countries. Then you ask yourself, what makes the people living inside the Kaduna city feel so comfortable, unconcerned about the people in southern Kaduna? What could that be? Nigeria. What will make a Yoruba man or a Yoruba woman feel like it is all right for government sponsor or non-government, they call them, to invade a civilian space and shoot and kill people there, then without any justification, and say, well, they call for it? Nigeria, conditioning. People said, wait, Nigeria is not working. And this goes beyond just the religious leaders who are telling you that God is the one that chooses your leaders. And I've told you as well that when you know that Nigeria is in problem, is in trouble, and you are trying to figure it out, people are offering solutions, the same people who created the problem. Oh, we are doing this, we are doing that, and all of that, yeah? But you, are trying to figure it out, like what is going on. Yeah. Then you have those. I'm talking about those who even brought us here from the onset. So while you are trying to figure it out, some people believe that maybe if we restructure, right? Like how could it be so difficult that a country is in trouble and those who are perpetuating the old problem are still walking free? But there are those who we believe shouldn't be part of it. We're talking about people of good minds and great minds all across, to say, let's find a solution that could probably bring an end to this. So they started, by the way, they started bringing solutions. First, they said, let's have a restructured Nigeria so that everybody will respect their own territorial boundaries. If you are crossing over to any Sharia region, you will get, sorry guys, I am always so kind of, I feel so warm when I wake up like that for too long. I'm beginning to feel warm out there. If we let the people manage their own affair and their resources, maybe from that, we can begin to build what we call a nation, okay? Because Nigeria is not a nation. The northern Nigeria sensed something because they have managed to what do you call it, to hold power onto themselves, even though they have no idea what they are doing with it. But a restructured Nigeria will whittle down that power, because the only power in Nigeria is the resources from southern Nigeria that is easily tapped. The resources that are easily tapped, easily turned to money. No effort is needed to, you don't need to put much effort. You know what I mean? Going on to develop any new idea, especially in northern Nigeria, for the future of those children there and the people there, will be too much. So a restructured Nigeria is going to make northern Nigeria poorer when these guys who have the power are given that option. So they rejected it, and they said it to everybody. They said it to everyone that Nigeria is already restructured. Okay, the Fulani Caliphate have restructured Nigeria since 1967. And immediately after Biafran genocide, they further partitioned Nigeria according to what they wanted it to be. And asking them now to change that is unacceptable. So they rejected restructuring. Malami is the #1 law officer of Nigeria. He said he doesn't even understand what you mean by restructuring. Restructure what? Then people said, you know what? If you are not going to restructure Nigeria, yeah, it is better we begin the conversation around the referendum, whereby, because as Nigeria is structured today, every region is now dependent on the center. The center cannot even protect itself. Talk less of protecting everyone. In fact, the center has been compromised by the jihadists and Taliban apologists who are now unleashing terror on the rest of the country. So people are now saying, bring up a referendum. And what did they bring after that? They declare war. And that is exactly what is going on in eastern Nigeria. Now, let's go back to it. If they have done so much damages as we speak, and they are now so scared to let go power, because when I said power, they have no power. They have none. Every weapon you see in the armory of Nigeria today is bought with every penny, every kobo from southern Nigeria. Take that to the bank. And that may give them a leverage. But the moment the source of that funding for those kind of power stops,
then you will realize that they actually have no power. People who are so heartless enough for 6 years to watch their own people in their region being kidnapped repeatedly, sold off as slaves to jihadists in northern Nigeria, who now built a very, very intimidating industry, terrorist industry in northern Nigeria. Those who could stomach that for 6 years, and they are not even giving it up, are telling us that you have no right to control your own resources. That's what they are telling you. You have no power except they say you do. And in this regard, yeah, you actually have none, and they are making you realize that. Now, religious persecution is so so like ingrained in their own whatever culture they call it in today's northern Nigeria, that being Christians in northern Nigeria is not different from, being somebody marked for death. But in Nigeria, you can't talk about it. They told us that they have recently. They said they have 13,000 terrorists who now surrendered to the Nigerian military. That is what they are telling the news, isn't it? But the real sponsor of terrorism are sitting, eating, whining, and dining with the same people who told you they are accepting repentant terrorists and freeing them. But the same repentant terrorists are still very much every day killing the same Nigerian soldiers. Now, it is all mixed up. I mean, what do you call it? They call it yam pepper, scatter, ishuata, yon. And it can be confusing too, just like what I'm saying to you now, as much as it sounds somehow confusing rather. But the point I'm trying to make here is this. The same people who don't want to have a chat about why the rest of southern Nigeria are now waking up to realize that there is actually no benefit of any kind, between north and south of Nigeria. All the fabric of lies that they have built over the years, they are now just catching flames and going up in ashes as we speak. Now they want to resort to violence. A violence that they are going to drag your mind into an election that is actually playing according to their plan, because they are scared to let go that power. With so much that the southern young people have discovered lately about Nigeria, and with the level of revolutionary mind brewing in southern Nigeria today, they know that it is a matter of time before this ideology of a total breakup of the south from the north of Nigeria, led by the young, ambitious southerner. I'm talking about the ones, including the middle beltans. Now, they are scared, and you should be in the know of that. They are worried that it is just a matter of time before this revolutionary mind, this ambitious mind, to challenge the status quo and break the chain of Armageddon that they have put on, they used to tie the north and the south together, that they said is non-negotiable. They are scared that the moment that power goes back to southern Nigeria, they may just kiss Nigeria goodbye. And not going to be easy. No, it's not going to be that easy. Don't let me paint a picture of El Dorado to all of you. I'm just going to take you through a kind of happenings that justify this fear, and why we are asking, what exactly do they want? Maybe we can give it to them, settle them, to save them the sleepless night, the trauma, and the bloodbath that they have unleashed on the rest of the country as we speak. Because it is only in violence that they can keep power. It is only in violence that they can, in panic and fear, that they can keep the control of the people. You may not have paid attention, but I am calling your attention to it. It is only violence, crisis, bloodbath, terrorism, ethnic cleansing, and all this madness going on that they can keep power. But pay attention. They are worried because they know that some of the development from the southern Nigeria, especially most of the things that has been guiding these southern politicians, even though some of them are playing hide and seek, cat and mouse game with our security and our own demand, especially in southern Nigeria, right? As much as they are living in denial, right? Some of them are already acting on some of our demand, some of the demands that make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu their number one enemy today, that makes Oloye Sunday Igboho their number one enemy today, that makes you and me their number one enemy for asking for the change in status quo. Now, they noticed that there is no pressure from the northern youth on their own political leaders at all. There's none established, none that can really be said, oh, well, maybe this is why they are doing what they are doing. None. They have been very comfortable. That is why whenever the southern governors or the southern political whatever leader, or even religious, or even the traditional rulers and the opinion holders and all of them come together and make a pronouncement, yeah, these pronouncements that always rile them in the north, that prompt them all the time to group against and issue a counter threat all the time, yeah. They believe that most of the reasons why the governors in southern Nigeria are doing what they are doing is not because they wanted to do what they are doing. It's because the pressure from their people is so massive that they can pretend to deny, but they cannot completely deny that those are the reasons. I mean, those are the things that are influencing them. But they pretend not to have the power today to make all our demand and all our changes happen, right? But the northern Nigeria feels it. They know, and that scares shit out of them. Seriously. And that is why Malamu and Co. and all of them will never subscribe to power returning to southern Nigeria, just like many of you are hoping. And that's what will take me to the next conversation here. The people that Barrister Aloy Ejimako said something today, and it was a very, very powerful word. You know what he said? He said, those who are comparing IPOB with the amnesty nonsense that Boko Haram is giving to terrorists, they are not being what do you call it? They're not being charitable. The reason is this: what Nnamdi Kanu is demanding for is referendum for freedom. Nnamdi Kanu stands for freedom fighting, whether you agree with him or you don't, which is your right, by the way, prerogative. He is a freedom fighter. You know what he is demanding. You know the people and the people of Biafra land are behind him. You know that. They've proved that to all of us over the years. There is no question about that. But can you tell me what exactly is the Fulani terrorists fighting for? Can you tell me what exactly is the Boko Haram fighting for? Now, in the book of Boko Haram terrorists who are fighting for the jihadi states, like in Afghanistan, a jihadi state where Sharia will be the law and where their Sharia flag will be flying high at the capital of Nigeria, and everybody will have to be ruled by Sharia. That is what Boko Haram, that's what they are fighting for. What do you think the Fulani terrorists are fighting for? They said they wanted land. They wanted land not because they wanted to buy land or anything, no. They wanted land to resettle Fulani terrorists from Niger, from Mali, from Chad, from all these places who have crossed over to Nigeria the moment this Al-Qaeda People's Congress took over power in Nigeria. Now, Boko Haram's government, who promised to end terrorism if it was given the chance, ended up pardoning terrorists, and they called it amnesty, repentant terrorists. It is in fact uncharitable to compare Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with them. So what do you expect? You have somebody kidnapped who is the leader. In their media, they always say it's the acclaimed leader. It's not an acclaimed leader. You have seen the effects of what you have done. Since the moment that Boko Haram has been going after him, you have seen the effect and the response of all the people behind him. They are not faceless. They are here. They are there. They are everywhere. You can see them. So we don't know those who are the Boko Haram fighters. So we can say, oh, let's go to the Boko Haram page and see what they are preaching today. So you can't hold somebody like that, where you have his lawyers and everybody around, and not be and not be in a serious hurry to begin to have a conversation with him. What are the grievances? What can we do? There's so much disagreement out there. In 1957, the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Hausas, and everybody who managed to form the entire 3 regions in Nigeria back then, they had an opportunity to go as one country or go their separate ways as different countries. But because of the political players of that time, they agreed to wait on the northern region to join them so that they can build one biggest African country that all Africans all over the world who have been shipped as slaves or what have you can call home. How many of you can call Nigeria home now? How many? So people who were, a country that was a product of a negotiation. Then you have criminals with guns today who don't believe in negotiation. They believe in brutality, which never really solves anything. I don't believe in violence. I don't support it. And I don't defend it. And that is more reason why when they did everything to make you believe that IPOB and the ESN are as dangerous as the Fulani terrorists that are kidnapping and collecting ransom from people, I tell you that's the point, you have to draw the line. Draw the line and don't play their game. The Eastern Nigeria, as we know, and on record, is the only region where over 5 million people were killed or starved to death. In fact, in one of those gory history that they managed to bury, the most one that continue to resonate and continue to flash back is the Asaba Massacre. You heard about it. After telling people that the war was over, people could come out. People came out in their thousands to welcome the Nigerian military, to say, oh, thank you, we are peaceful. Waving Nigerian flag, waving the white flag. They were slaughtered by the Nigerian government. So it was the only region in Nigeria. And it is also the only region where they killed that number of people. And there is no single epitaph or epitaph or what is it called? For them, a museum or so, for them. To say the names of those killed. So that everyone who participated in that program, everyone who participated in that massacre, they will always be remembered as well as those they killed, so that you will not repeat it again. But Nigeria didn't do that. Nigeria said, no winner, no vanquish. Let us forget it and let us move on. You know what I'm talking about? And today, as you are also watching this video, it is also the only region militarized after the government decided to burn down the place. It is only region.
It is the only region you can always see up to 1,000 checkpoints. If you drive from Lagos, which is the western Nigeria, and you drive straight to Onitsha, which is in the eastern Nigeria, the heart of Biafra, drive down. It is only route in the entire country. You see, you have been reading about Boko Haram. You have been hearing about the atrocities and the crimes of the Fulani terrorists in Nigeria. But guess what? They are domiciled mostly in northern Nigeria until now. But if you were traveling to that part of the country, you would think you're actually going on a road trip. Road trip until you will meet the terrorists that will take you. You would expect them to be most on their part. The only region where terrorists were able to use gun, according to the Nigerian government, they used gun to shoot down 2 fighter jets. They shot one down early this year. They shot another one down mid this year, and that pilot escaped. The first one they shot down, I think it was in Zamfara. The second one they shot down, it was in Niger. They said that one was a crossing border between Kaduna and Niger, whatever it is. Surveilling, and they shot it down with gun. How is that even possible? Fighter jet flying, and terrorists shot. The only region, and even upon that, you will never hear them that they have sent 300 soldiers, they have sent 300 tanks, they have sent 300 this or that to go after them. These guys kill soldiers for fun. But in eastern Nigeria is where those repentant terrorists are sent to. And they make you believe that it's completely wrong to discuss with the leader of people that are more than 50 million. Rather than discuss with him, they would rather just go after them. And for those who are so ignorant, thinking that I'm not IPOB member, so they can't come after me. Well, lucky you for now. Because you see, you heard Malamu earlier. Malamu and his gang, all of them, if you pay attention very well, Malamu and his gang, they have the same name for everyone from eastern Nigeria. Even if you say you are from Niger Delta, you are all IPOB members, according to Malamu. You see, southern Nigeria ban open grazing. Southern Nigeria comprises of 17 states, I believe. 17 states, and out of that 17 states, you have 6 of those states who are from Yoruba land. But guess what? When Malamu want to give example of why open grazing cannot be banned, he decided to use spare parts traders. Who are those who are trading in spare parts? Are they IPOB members? Are they? So you will see that reality, and you will then realize that you shouldn't by any means fight your brothers for them. It is the same agenda. Now, when you talk about uniting against one enemy, these same characters did something last year, and in another few days, it is going to be exactly 1 year that they killed over 300 Nigerians, 300 young Nigerians all over the country. They used their police to shoot and kill innocent people. They used their military to kill innocent people. Many people ended up in jail. You won't believe it. There are still people who are still in jail because they were arrested for NSAS protest a year ago. Do you know that? And that is that country. A journalist recorded a politician who carried out gun and started shooting up gun, right? And then within a few hours, the boy, very young boy, the boy gone missing. And by the time they will see the boy later, they found his dead body at a morgue, inside a morgue in Ikorodu. A young boy, very young boy, probably 18, 19 years old. They killed him. That's one of those they killed. A young guy in Oshobo. I can't remember his name right now. For those who can remember. The guy was not even like with the NSAS protesters, right? But he was like a bystander. Armless, nothing. They shot and killed him. And that's what they did all over the country. Kill people in Ibadan, kill people in Abuja, kill people in Lagos. Many killed in Lagos anyway. Kill people in Port Harcourt, kill people in Enugu. All over the place.
Put the tallies together. Over 300 people killed within the space of just 2 weeks. And no single person is held responsible for that. None. Justice. Those who don't care to talk, those who don't think that because you are not the victim yet, then it doesn't really matter. Between last year and this year, many, many people have died in the hand of the same problem we have been talking about. So if they want peace, then they must at least give peace. Nnamdi Kanu should be brought to court. And on that day of their hearing, 21st of October, I believe, he should be freed unconditionally. Nnamdi Kanu is a freedom fighter, not a criminal. He is meant to be on the same table with responsible thinkers who cares about people, not about themselves and their ego and what they want to be or what they are, that they want the world to keep believing. It should be on that table. And then they will start looking into it and say, what exactly can we do to at least appease the Igbos before the eventual review? That is what you call negotiation. You don't kill them and think this is going to go away. Boko Haram would die. Malami would die. Many of those who believe that they hold the power today, they would die. But if you don't know that this whole thing is not going to last long, I am just here to tell you the news. It's not going to last long. Nigeria is going to break up, right? You see these old soldiers who forced Nigeria together in 1966. This is their last. Okay? Including those who are pretty much alive when that happened too. And they've waited and waited to take their turn. And they too have took their turn and preaching peace today. Yeah? They too, they are going to wither away. The information age we have today will not make Nigeria last with the attitude of those you have there today. And I'm saying this for free. I'm not a Nostradamus. I can give you this for free. The generation that I belong to, even if I die, my generation still have the opportunity of living for another 60 years. Do you know that? Even if I die, people of my generation who are of my age, right? You will still find many of them around in 60 years' time. Which means with the level of information we have today, my generation and now imagine the generation coming, the generation after mine, and the one after that, and the ones after those, and including the millennials. So Nigeria won't last when they continue to believe that these aged, faded, archaic, old men can still decide who dies or who lives for Nigeria to live. I'm giving you this information free of charge. Okay? What I'm asking is this. Nigeria is in turmoil. Boko Haram and gang have dipped Nigeria into a serious problem, okay? Now, let me give you an idea of some of the problems I have seen, and they scare me. I personally believe that whatever is going on today, that is this Fulanization or whatever-nization, anything going on, they are timely. At some point, we will face them and tackle them head on, and they will get away. But there's something that won't go away. Boko Haram and gang, over 6 years, they have plunged everyone from every part of Nigeria into the perpetuity of indebtedness that you can never recover from in 50 years. And that's a hell lot of time for somebody to waste in their own existence. When Boko Haram and gang are done, Nigeria will be done. The Tatars and all of that people will want to keep together. It will be too obvious for everybody to see through that it won't last before everybody begin to agree that, you know what, let us start cutting out this whole thing up. Let's break this whole thing up. People like us will then be like prophets, as if to say we see vision. It's not vision. You see, the craziest thing is this, especially in southern Nigeria. Let me use northern Nigeria as a very good example. Until 1975, when Sheikh Gumi father decided to change the psyche, the religious psyche of some part of the northern Nigeria and the children of that era, right? Putting them through the Salafist doctrine that makes them question your own Islam from that person's Islam. And if you're not even a Muslim, and that doctrine also said they must, when they finally gain power, they must make sure that they are never led by anyone other than the Muslim in every capacity they find themselves. They must make sure that nobody heard them that is not a Muslim. That doctrine didn't come by until 1975. Those children of 1975, most of them are fathers, grandfathers today. Some of them are now the retired permanent secretaries. They are now retired retired that, directors, minister, former governor, former this and that now, military, you know what I'm talking about? That doctrine that they have, that they brought in 1966 is, 1975 rather, is what gave birth to Boko Haram. Do you know what the meaning of Boko Haram is? Yeah? Boko Haram means book is a sin. Western education. You see, when they say Boko is book. Haram is sin. So they consider Western education as sin. For me to be able to, for all of you educated in different schools, it's a sin against Islam. You should get Islamic education for your children. And the society should operate according to Sharia. This idea didn't come in 2012. No, it all started from 1975. They destroyed education completely, totally. These guys were shutting schools. Nobody was reporting them. They were chasing people out of schools until they pick up arms, when they were bold enough to get guns and bombs. Now, take a look at us in southern Nigeria today. When they begin to give us the numbers of out-of-school children, when you begin to look at the numbers of our children who have been to school, but they are now jobless, in that same economy, Nigeria economy in Yoruba land, that is where they have to survive. When you now look at those who actually have the real talent, but they don't have the economic power to pursue those talents, to help themselves and help Yoruba land. If all of you are ignoring them today, because everybody is trying to make it, I want to make it. When I make it, I can help people. I told you, I said, 22 years ago was when they told you that democracy was coming, that you should be happy, that when democracy comes, you will never see police brutality anymore. You will never see military brutality anymore. Military will not just come around and kill you anymore. You will be free. You will be, free. 22 years ago, I was 15 years old boy. In fact, I was just 14 years old boy. 22 years ago. But I know better now. Now, the children, you see, those of us that were, who were born before 22 years ago. Now, and then say, can we look at the level of crime in Yoruba land, in southern Nigeria today, and see those who are committing those crimes? But because Nigeria has already happened to many of you, they have called them local crimes. But who are the victims? Local victims. Who are the local victims? You, me, who don't have a police security. Now, look at 22 years. Look around you and tell me the age of all these young people who are carrying out different crimes that you see in southern Nigeria today, from armed robbery to burglary to whatever, name it, cyber crime, and what have you. Check their age. Check. This is where you understand that is our future. That is our future. The future that you are witnessing today in northern Nigeria did not start 10 years ago. That future started when? 1975. And if you put that together, I think that's going to be when? 45 years ago. Maybe 45 years ago. Now, in our own future that we are going into, as long as we remain part of Nigeria, yeah, the economic destruction, borrowing that they have dipped Nigeria into, and now insecurity. 22 years, God knows how many millions of children we have who are now adults. If you are watching me right now, and your age is between 0, well, maybe 0 can watch me. Let's say your age is between 10 years and 22 years. When you look around and you want to see what it will look like in another 23 years, just take a look at the first 22. Our children who have not been educated, many of them miseducated, many of them wrongly educated, many of them who are actually graduates, but they are unemployable because of the type of skill they gave to them. But they want them to survive. Just go out there and survive. But they have been unable to really survive because there's really nothing for them to use, to utilize, to help them to achieve anything substantial, anything reasonable. Because even if they try to, they are still going to be profiled, aren't they? When a young man looks good, it must be into crime. That is the unwritten code of fighting crime of the Nigerian police force. If you are a young man and you are looking fresh, looking good, wearing nice clothes, driving a nice car, if you are not a son or daughter of politician, then you must be into a crime. And the police won't even come to investigate whether you are into a crime or not. The police is coming to come and collect his own share. How is he going to take that car from you? How is he going to empty that your bank account? How is he going to intimidate and threaten your family to give him the key and the document to your house? Because he can do it. All he has to do is to say, you are a fraudster as a young person. Now, if you now say you are 22 years watching me right now, and you don't even like me because Nigeria has made you think I am somebody who just want to make you get into trouble for telling you the truth, that Nigeria has no plan for you. No matter what you think of yourself, no matter that dream you have right now, ask your uncles, ask your aunties. At least you do have some, right? Ask them what happened to them. What was it like for them when they were teenagers? Didn't they have dreams? What happened? They may likely tell you few things that you will never believe will happen to you. But I'm telling you right now, the reason why they couldn't really make it out of it is because they themselves had dreams too. But 22 years after, the reality set in. Nigeria happened to them. And today, right, they look around, they couldn't even find the reason why. Why did everything end this way for me? I did everything. What happened to me? They couldn't figure it out. So guess what? They've just looked for somebody to blame. Maybe in your own 23 years' time, right? If you call me, if you tell me to shut up, come back home and do it. Come back, come and contest because you love PDP. You love APC. There were those before you who loved SDP. They loved NRC. There were those before you who love GDM, NNPC, blah, 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 all this kind of 5 leprosy fingers that adopted and endorsed Abacha to become the live civilian president in Nigeria. There were those before you who had dreams too. But ask them today. Ask them today, what happened? Sir, what happened? They will tell you. So it is mine to tell you that Nigeria has no plan for you, okay? And the reason why Nigeria has no plan for you is very obvious. Look at what happened to northern Nigeria. Have you asked yourself, what could be so wrong that the people who have the power, the people who control the presidency, They control the Central Bank of Nigeria, that they can print money anytime. They control the military. They control the Air Force. They control the Navy. They control the immigration. They control custom. Yeah, they control they control the Supreme Court. Yeah, they control the legislature. They control the police. They control the DSS. They control the NIA. They control almost every goddamn thing. But ask yourself, how come they couldn't stop these killings in northern Nigeria all these years? That it seems like it's never going to end? And why? Because it was all planned. Everything is happening according to how they want it to happen. People said, if you are way back when, back in the days, they said Turkey wasn't an Islamic country. No insult to you, my brothers and sisters who are Muslims. Oh, I'm just talking about history here. They said it wasn't completely Islamic country until now. But even some people will say, Mayegu, we have heard a lot about Turkey. But if Nigeria is half of what Turkey is, some people will not even care if you want to address Nigeria as Islamic country or not, because they just won't care. Which means it would have been a bit better, but nobody should even wish to be like Turkey. Honestly speaking, if Yoruba nation comes, we would never want to be like Turkey. For obvious reasons, you know. A dictator rules Turkey. And I don't like anything dictatorship, no. Even if a dictator has all the best at 32, always smiling and always looking nice. No, don't befriend one. You will regret it. So there is no plan. They're going to tell you to go to school. They're going to tell you to get the best grade. If they haven't told you already, they're going to tell you that you are the future leader. You are the leaders of tomorrow. They're going to tell you that Nigeria is going to rely on you to survive. They're going to tell you a lot of things. But you're going to realize differently later. But it will be too late. They would have used you to sacrifice a lot of people, kill people. But you will realize along the line that no, Nigeria is not going anywhere because of the way it's structured. So they are destroying our education in Yoruba land. They've destroyed family value in Yoruba land. Today, it's not just Yoruba land, though, but I am from Yoruba land and I can tell you a lot about that. There used to be what they call family value. It takes a whole village to raise a child. Do you know that? That was a very common saying, right? If you have a very good child, the whole community will protect the child. They will, like every other child, rather. But today, the level of immorality, the level of that decadence, the level of degeneration in the family value will shock you. Not many people will be shocked, but many people don't understand the effect of that. When you see young girls who are supposed to normally be protected by the society, but she's been haunted by the same society that wanted to take advantage of her, and therefore she has to find a way to survive in that society. They call it misogyny. What do you call that again? Misogynistic or something. All these fancy new words, by the way, that they call it the man's word. Now, you have a girl child that's our lecturer want to take advantage of. They said, no, nobody will take advantage of you if you read your book. Really? So if I am dull, according to Nigerian definition of being dull as a child, or as a teenager, the next thing is for somebody who is meant to train and make me better to take advantage of me. You know what I'm talking about? Empathy from the start of this video. where people will be like, see, Mayegun, let's tell ourselves the truth. All these girls, they are olodo. Some of them don't know anything. Some of them are ready to sleep with lecturers because the society welcomes it. Isn't that the reason why? She's never going to get the help without giving something. They destroyed education. They destroyed family value. Young girls who are supposed to be aspiring to be greater things, they have been limited by that society to feel like if they want to survive, they have to do whatever it takes. Some of them are now breadwinners of their families after gifting their bodies to numerous men to survive, not because they wanted to. As they will say, no be your mate, they sell a wave on for jewelry. Should she be selling wave on along the rail line? Or she should be in school, get real education or any training, any skill, and then be useful to herself and including to our own community. Mayegun is what it is. Nigeria is not like America, it's not like this thing. People need to do. Are you kidding me? Do you think I don't know people do that? I'm asking you, does that mean that those who are vulnerable and won't do that should be taken advantage of, which has now become the survivor tool? It is what the society projected on you that some of you have now customized. You've traditionalized it. They destroyed family value. They destroyed community value. And everybody is now living like a jackal, trying to feed off one another, take advantage of one another just to survive for the next night. So that's our future. So if you have not really thought, about it, I am telling you now to begin to think about it. Where do you see Nigeria in 23 years? Which will make it 45 years of the jihad that started from Zaria by Sheikh Gumi's father, Ahmed Gumi or something they call him. So that worries me. Because I believe that by the time the whole thing goes on, I say, okay, let us all just stay on our own. How do you think we are going to rehabilitate the adults? Because they won't be youth anymore then. The adults destroyed, psychologically destroyed by Tifnubu and gang that glorifies Agbero, glorifies violence, rigging, manipulation, lies as their own kind of CV for leadership. How do you think we're going to rehabilitate them? I think about that all the time. As much as I'm so worried about what they have done, but when you look at the damages they are still doing, for every day that the Yorubas fail to discuss and raise the head now for the conversation on the referendum that will detach us from all this mystery, the journey they are taking us to is going to be beyond the Fulani terrorists. It's going to be beyond these guys who just wanted to take over everything. No. Our own children that are being destroyed. 22 years, millions of them have been completely, psychologically conditioned as they wanted, as they conditioned their northern Buhari idiots. And that is more dangerous for us as a people. Thank you very much. So I think about that all the time, and that's why I'm talking to you as a young person today, and even as an old person too, that remember something. Yeah? This is far, far beyond just power. If it is possible to ask them, these guys declared civil war in eastern Nigeria and nobody is even paying attention. I picked up a video earlier and it was about these guys who were kidnapped from their church by Fulani terrorists, and they were released later. And people were, singing, pray, dancing and all of that. They have declared civil war in eastern Nigeria, but some of you have no idea. You think they are hunting people, looking for people? No. What they did at Izombe 2 days ago is an act of war. You know what they did? They killed countless numbers of people that we are yet to ascertain yet for now. Because many people were running helter-skelter. Some people were carrying a gunshot wound because the Nigerian military warped into a village and started shooting because the villagers won't accept Ruga settlements in their state, in Imo State. Then they burned down over 70 houses. Is that not an act of war? Imo State in eastern Nigeria is the only place, is the first place in southern Nigeria that Boko Haram's government decided to bomb people at Olu. Many of you probably didn't know that. They bombed people in Olu in April. It was a real campaign. It was a real operation. They were dropping bombs. To what? Because they said they don't want Ruga. How long do you think it's going to take them before they start dropping bomb on the people of Ibarapa, Ayete, Igongon, and all those areas? How long do you think it's going to take before they start dropping their bomb somewhere in Ogun State as well, where many villages have already been emptied anyway? Or your state government didn't know. Osun state government didn't know. Ogun state government, they don't know that many of their villages are people are no longer living there because they have been chased away by the Fulani terrorists. How long do you think it's going to take? So there is already civil war going on in eastern Nigeria. And if there's anything everybody should know right now, is to understand that Nigeria is under attack, not from any alien, not from any outsider, from our own government. People, as you are watching this, people are being shot at right now and killed. In Imo State, in Enugu State, in Ebonyi State, right there. You know why? Because there are soldiers sent there to go after them. And the whole world doesn't even have a clue, possibly. So we have advised the influence that most of us from southern Nigeria, especially in Yoruba land, the influence of our advocacy on those who are still our pretender in office, those who claim to be representing us, cannot be under, reported anyway. You can't. We hope that the same influence that the IPOB has on some of these politicians who are so scared to actually stand bold and fight will cease. And they can be bold enough, at least speak in one voice and demand for the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu. That will be the genesis, the beginning of any peace in eastern Nigeria. Since people don't want to link it together, then people are not ready for the real solution. Now, not that the politicians want any solution, because this chaos is going to work for them. Okay? But when you see the bigger picture, I'm talking about these politicians themselves. If they see the bigger pictures and see that the same people that will call you governor or call you this or call you that are being killed right now. Yeah? And except if you are planning to be governor over ghost towns, if you want peace, it is better to begin to mount the pressure, if not pressure, anything you want to do, but call it whatever. Unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu is the beginning of that. Us in Yoruba land, we are getting to that stage where you are likely going to begin to witness the sister Tomi in Yoruba land soon too. And I'll tell you why. The news we are hearing from Benin Republic about Oloye Sunday Igboho, they are not in any way palatable at all. I told you when I spoke to him, especially the first time he said something about his health. Now, his lawyer came out and he said They have requested that he should be transferred from where they are keeping him right now to go and see a doctor. We haven't received any confirmation that they've done that. Igboho committed no crime. Boko Haram wanted him dead. He managed to escape from his killers who have no case or any crime against him. And they asked the Benin Republic to hold him. Now, like Kenya, Benin Republic is now involved in the persecution of freedom fighters. Those who are asking the world to look onto the plight of the indigenous people of Nigeria in the hands of one ethnic nationality that is being protected by these Taliban apologists in government. Benin Republic is now part of this. But we will continue to demand, because we know if to say Oloye Sunday Igboho is being kept in DSS cell in Nigeria today, the story will probably be different. And I mean different. But they manage to control how we react in Benin Republic. First, they told us we shouldn't visit. Not many crowd, don't mobilize. No protests, no rallies. So that because Benin Republic is not Nigeria. They were lying to us. It was in the same Benin Republic they staged a revolution that nearly overthrew their own government too. Remember, but I'll come to that. But they said we should be careful in order not to make things bad. We didn't know that they were buying time. Now that Igboho is unwell, the right thing to do right now is for Benin Republic to either take him to their court and tell us why they are holding him, and let him go and see his doctors in Germany. The journey that has nothing to do with Benin Republic, until Nigeria demanded that they should kidnap him and send him back over, or send him back to Nigeria, which has now met his own diplomatic logjam. We don't want Benin Republic to cause more damages. Wherever Nigeria is promising them, they should think very, very carefully of what the consequences of their action will be. Not today, but I'm talking about the tomorrow that is pregnant enough for us to know that this whole thing won't last. It's not going to last long. So, you may begin to witness that in Yoruba land too. If anything happened to Oloye Sunday Igboho, by any dint of hard luck or what have you, trust me, even the Yoruba political class that are playing both sides, giving Boko Haram confidence that a Yoruba won't break away, going to Benin Republic telling them to hold Sunday Igboho, they will no longer be able to hold the two ropes together anymore. At the end of the day, we'll let go if anything happened to him. And that is why we are saying it to you now. Listen, your criminality of getting away with everything before we came of age, right? Listen, we are now documenting them. We're documenting them. And we know your names. We have all the records now. If anything happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, trust me, this advocacy will take a different turn. If anything happened to Oloye Sunday Igboho in Benin Republic, by any breaking news at all, at that point, well, the whole advocacy will take a new turn. But let me tell you something. That is exactly what Boko Haram and gang want. And I'm saying it to you now that they are prepared for the wars, right? But the point is, are you prepared for the wars? Or you are still giving yourselves the false hope that this whole thing is just bad dream. It will go away and everything will just be the same again. Are you really prepared for the wars? I'll leave it at that. These people are grateful that they came back. They are bishop, they are priests. They call them priests. These are the people who speak to God. Probably speak to God better than me and you, Abi. But they are never safe from kidnappers who don't give a damn about any God. As you can tell, they are more evil-minded than what you can imagine. They kidnap priests. Who are you?
You are thanking God for being back alive after paying ransom to the terrorists that are going to be pardoned by the government. It is a shit show. That can be you. That can be me. If I am lucky. And it's not because I'm from northern Nigeria. It's just because I am still part of Nigeria. We don't support violence. We don't preach it. But that doesn't mean that we don't report it. For those whose only message is violence, or sometimes unity begging, the conversation should start, is what we are talking about. They don't want to have it. Like this guy, that they sacked somebody for calling him a former. Why are they even calling him a former? A unity beggar, right? Upon all the problem, Baba knows, say, if Nigeria break up, who is going to be paying for former?
I was brought up to believe in Nigeria, and I continue to believe in this country. And I also think that there are a number of weaknesses in the kind of arguments that are being put forward. First of all, you'll hardly find a country in the world that is homogeneous. The United States is a country of immigrants. You've got blacks, you've got white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, you've got Irish Catholics, you've got American Indians, you've got Hispanics, and you've got immigrants from all over. The United Kingdom is about, England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland are not one people. Switzerland, you've got different groups. The French have their Basques, the Spanish have their Corsicans. Russia is a country made up of many ethnic groups, so is China. And, you know, if you think of Nigeria, what part of Nigeria is homogeneous? And what part of Nigeria has been homogeneous over its entire history? Take Hausa land. People talk about Hausa Fulani. Before the Sokoto Jihad, Hausa land was divided into a number of kingdoms. They spoke the same language, they had the same religion, but they were at war with each other. Kano was at war with Katsina. Katsina was at war with Zaria. Zaria was at war with Gobir, and so on. People thought of this as Kanawa, Katsinawa, Zazagawa. The idea of there being Hausawa, one group, came later. That entire group was put together, really, by the Sokoto Jihad, which put them under one flag. If you come to Yoruba land, you've got the Ijebu, the Ekiti, the Akoko, the Owo, and until recently, Ife and Modakeke were at war with each other. If you go to the Niger Delta, the Ijo, the Ishekiri, the Edo, the Asaba, and Middle Belt, Tiv, Idoma, Yoruba, Ibira. There is no part of this country that is homogeneous. Into how many parts are you going to slice this country in order to have a homogeneous nation? So let us first of all understand what we're talking about. The challenge is not in our diversity. The challenge is not in our complexity. The challenge has been in the inability of the leadership to forge a nation. And we've made a lot of progress. If you go back, when I was growing up, when I was in King's College, under Yakubu going after the Civil War, we had gotten to a point where we were one nation, where we were thinking of ourselves as one country, where people believed in Nigeria as one Nigeria. And now what happens is that you tend to have, from time to time, certain people in elite circles, because Nigeria, the state is a rentier state, the state is a site for the extraction of rent and for corruption. You have different class fractions of the elite who profit from creating a base for themselves. Look.
Then break it up so that they won't have that opportunity anymore. Why are they begging for unity when the characters that he mentioned have done so much damages and we have seen so much bloodbath, and we said it is class war? I've told you this many times that there is no north. There is no north versus south. There is no Igbo versus Yoruba. There is no Yoruba versus Fulani or Fulani versus Igbira or anybody. It is class war.
What everybody wants is just a good life. You just want to live your normal life. Be able to walk, put food on the table of your family, put a roof over their head, make them feel safe, educate your children, do things that normal people do, travel. That's what people want to do. But the characters who feed from the division, the chaos that forced everyone together and benefiting from it, including himself, they've made it a class war. The rich versus the poor. The up versus the down. The strong versus the weak. The powerful versus the vulnerable. It's a class war. As you have them in Yoruba land, doing the same thing, you have them in in all places, in Igbo land, everywhere. Class war. So if the only thing that this could bring about is this poverty capital, this division and all of that, then break it up. Let everybody go and deal with their own criminals differently. I bet you the Igbos can deal with their own criminals. If you give them 10 years, give Biafrans 10 years, they will deal with their criminals and they will figure it out. Give us in Yoruba land, give us also 10 years after we leave Nigeria. We can deal with them, but you can't deal with them when they are using their class as their umbrella. How do you fight? The only way you fight is when you break it up. When you all realize what unites you, what is it that actually connects all of us? What connects me to that an average Igbo man? What connects the average Igbo man to an average Ibibio woman? What connects the average Ibibio woman to that an average Igala man? From there to Nupe, or to an average Fulani man who is doing his legitimate business. And then you look at those who claim to come from your tribe, from my tribe, from the same religion, from that place, right? Who wine and dine, where they should be fighting for me and you, why we should be safe. Then you realize, you understand the class war. It doesn't take them, it's like this. It doesn't take them to jump from A to B or B back to A, it's so easy. It's class war. There's no PDP, there's no APC, all this nonsense that they just want you to. They have no ideology. You can't say this is PDP ideology, this is APC ideology, this is Hausa Fulani ideology, this is Yoruba ideology, this is Biafran ideology. In the face of all these guys, they have no ideology of anything. Yeah, they don't, they just happen to come from. They are the enablers. They just happen to come from you and me. It is class. And when Barrister Dele Faru to me said, we should not die in their war. If there's any war to fight and die in, it is the war of your own liberty, your freedom. Where's that freedom? The economic freedom, the financial freedom, the security freedom, the choice, the freedom of choice that makes you human. The feelings, the reciprocatory love that makes you feel like you are living. All those things are free will, free given. That Nigeria has happened to many of you that they have become so luxurious today. You don't defend those who don't care about you if you understand how much they have done to you. Not just somebody telling you that they don't care, but you understanding how much damages they have done to you. Equality. Punish crime. When people do things wrongly, you punish them. You don't reward them. The reason is because you don't want other people to copy that. Copycats. Those who are going to try it too, because they may get away with it. But they have proved to everybody that even though Nigeria is not as big as they want you to make it look to you, right? But it's too big for them to manage. Now they have the power. For 6 years, they just opened all of our eyes. It's not Mayegun that is, it's not me that is working to divide Nigeria. It is those guys. They have already divided Nigeria. But their division they made is that it is a class division, okay? which still make Nigeria look to appear like that. But if you psychologically pay attention, they give no hoot or damn. So what do? You dislodge them all. You don't defend them or work to protect them. You dislodge them. You push them off the cliff so that you can see clearly your own freedom. How do you do that? Not violently. They are the violent people. I have seen all these protests. I've seen all these demonstrations everywhere. None of them is ever violent until they bring in their soldiers or they bring in their military and they start shooting people needlessly. So they are the violent people. How many do you really think they can kill if people decide that enough? And that is why they will prefer to keep Sunday Igboho somewhere, keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu somewhere, so that they can control the narrative. They can lie to you. They can manipulate things and continue to make you feel like, oh, those guys are the villains. They must be killed or, destroyed. While they work day and night, destroying you, destroying every penny in your pockets, making you worthless. So you don't join them for an election as much as they want you to. You don't join them for an election. You ask them to join you, demanding for a referendum. Start with this constitution nonsense they have. If all the churches in Nigeria alone, including in northern Nigeria, decided to stage a 1 week sit out and they ask all their members, no work, no nothing. And all these imam that are preaching Islam to you, talking about Alijana and the rest of that, if they care about you, if they care about your children, they will join too. And they will ask everybody, listen, we will sit out. That singular move alone can change everything. You can get a new constitution, but politicians are telling them, oh, you're going to put Nigeria in danger if you do that. Our people will suffer in northern Nigeria if you do that. Are they not suffering now? Are they not dying now? What are they doing to stop it? What have they done? What are they doing right now? Praying. Abi? They say pray. Close your eyes and pray. As you are closing your eyes to pray, they are moving money under the table. They are sharing money. Sharing money. When they say, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. You will don't pray. You don't see vision. They are moving money. Because it's a big industry. In their 2022 budget, right? Defense is taking the chunk of it. These guys are criminals. And who's going to pay for the war they claim to be fighting, including the one they are fighting in eastern Nigeria? Who do you think is paying for the war? Southern Nigeria. When they bring the weapons in to fight the terrorists, rather, they will just open up the place. You get Boko Haram attack the place. They attack military base and they carted away weapons. And you'll be wondering, what the hell? How could you come to my home where I keep weapons and you overpower me? I get weapon for also. Like, I have weapons in my house, right? And then you come in and you overpower me. What? And then you cut away the weapons and you take them away. Like, what the hell? Like how unreal is Nigeria? But whenever they have the time to put the weapons on their vehicles to go and fight, they will just turn around, turn to the east. They will go to the east, drive kilometers to the east. Because they don't trust, they don't want IPOB. That's the most people they fear. They don't want IPOB to invade their barracks and take their weapon. They will be like, if to say that IPOB get all this weapon and they should use them, oh boy, now dead. Yo. So they decided to relocate all the Nigerian weapons to the northern Nigeria, preparing for war. So they have to drive kilometers to eastern Nigeria to go and kill innocent people. And they will leave the terrorists there up north where they are keeping weapons. So when the terrorists run out of weapons, they will attack the military base, cut away the weapons. And they will say, hey, 4 soldiers killed, 15 soldiers killed. Just like that story. Nothing happened until the next one. So who is paying for all those weapons? Who is paying for the borrowing and everything? Where do you think they have the mindset, the audacity, the confidence to go and borrow until they turn all of you to debtor? See, if me, I still have Nigerian passports, okay? So which means, if those people will borrow Nigerian money, if they begin to charge all of us, me as a day, I they hold them almost 600,000 naira. Do you know that? Including you that is going to be looking for urgent 2K. You are there asking for urgent 2K, asking for, bros, please help me, 5K, please give me something, sir. There is a gbese on you already, 600,000 naira from the money Boko Haram is borrowing. If you no pay them, see, if you have 2 children, each of them, they are also owing 600,000 naira. So if you die, they will share your own. Gbese, and you can continue to clap for them. So you know what I mean. So the people who have that kind of plan for us, they don't have any plan. That means it's a grave plan for us, a very grave one that will eventually never ever make us be able to pull our people out of poverty or whatever. But you can make a difference. Go out there, talk to somebody and tell them, I know you are preparing for election. I know you believe that this and that. Listen. This is not about any election, okay? It is not. See, we can all, and I actually wanted to preach something as well. Community mobilization. Hey, I have been reading about that. And honestly speaking, if Nigeria is not a terrorist country, that's something I would actually love to travel back to Yoruba land and organize, to help people organize the community organization, whereby people will begin to talk about Yoruba nation, community outreach and all of that. I'm talking about great stuff. That when you say, people, let's come out tomorrow, you will see hundreds of thousands of people. It is possible. But you need to put in the work. I have to say, well done to the guys who are doing a lot. Some of them are doing a lot on social media to mobilize, using social media to mobilize everybody to join this, join that. Listen, it's more than that. I've come to know. And it's not too late. You can dedicate it to yourselves, right? That you go into communities and you talk to people. They say, who are you? I say, I am just a concerned citizen. I just thought Nigeria is not going anywhere. And for this reason, for that reason, it is better for citizens to begin to ask that these criminals who can't change anything should go, so that you can start afresh. When I say afresh, you can decide if you still want to be part of Nigeria or not. Community outreach. Oh, I love it. When I was reading about that, when I was watching some videos on it, it was a great thing. I was like, that could be something we could have done. Yeah, social media was like, hey, no, it's more than social media. It takes one person to walk into a place and say, can I talk to you, please? And you have 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and you start talking to them and say, listen, I am not here to talk to you about 2023 and all of that nonsense, okay? I just want to have a chat with you about everything. How is everything going? What do you do? What do you do? Like, let's have a chat. Do you see us going anywhere as a country? Like, even all the part, engage them. And begin to tell them why they should never get involved in validating any fraud. When you see people telling you about the election in 2023 and the rest of that, most of them are paid. Look at me very well. Most of them are paid. They are paid to say what they will say. They are paid to write what they will write. They are paid to appear on TV, different TV, to lie to you. If you believe them, you are going to come back to me after your 2023, and you're going to say, my yegun, and you said it. Do you get what I mean now? You will come back to me. So we can begin to go out there, convince one person, engage them. Don't argue with them. Don't argue with them. Don't go there to try to want to convert them. No. Engage them. Ask questions. Let them ask you questions. If you don't understand something, don't make something up. Tell them, I don't know much about that. I'll find out, and I'll come back to you. Maybe we should see again. That is community outreach. When they ask questions and you feel like, oh boy, that question, I know to know I'm going to go and ask Simon Ekpa. Oh, I'm going to go and ask Mayegun. In fact, I'm going to go and ask somebody about that question. Don't make things up. Befriend them. Be nice. You will be surprised. You will be shocked at the effect of that. And if that is well coordinated, oh man, you have all their contact, you have everything you need to have. And before you know it, you have an army. An army that cannot be stopped by soldiers' bullets. Trust me. That is exactly what I am going to dedicate my life to be doing from now on. Let people know the danger that is they are in and the one coming and the consequences of their decision without having to argue with them. Don't argue with them. When they tell you that it's all nonsense, it's all this and that, tell them it's not. No, it's not. Baba, it's all this in Jare. All of them are looking for money. Tell them it is not. Don't feel offended. Don't fight them. Just, can I have a minute with you on this? Okay. Just say one point. If just what you know is just one point, say that one point. And when I say point, there's a lot you can actually ask them. Do you know Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world today? And if they say, we know that one now, everybody will have to. No, you don't. Give them figure. That, do you know what that simply means is that if you have 33% of your population unemployed of 200 million, that means you currently have more than 60 million to 70 million who have no jobs at all. That's 33%, or what am I even saying? Like 80 million who have no jobs. 33%, that's a lot, isn't it? So if you give them that figure and say, just imagine 50 million people will not get job. How do you think they survive? Sorry, what do you do for a living? What do you do? I'll be hustler. We are all hustlers, but what do you hustle? What do you do? So when you let them take it, when you make it personal, people tend to want to reason. When I talk to people about terrorism, and I say, can you picture yourself being forcefully taken from your car or from your home and your family, and you have to beg for your life, including you have to buy your lives back? Could you imagine that for a minute and the trauma that would be to you? So many people will say, Baba, I can't imagine that one. No, I know pray for that. Oh. Also, but there are people who have witnessed it. Some of them didn't live to tell the story. How would you feel if they take that away from? So when you let them personalize it, when you make them feel the empathy of what it is like to feel what those people who have been victims, to feel what they felt, then you realize that people will begin to say, no, I don't want that one. No, I don't want that one. But what can we do? It starts from your mind. They're going to tell you to vote. They're going to tell you to register to vote. But do you really have a choice in who becomes, who will actually address your problem? Do you have a choice? You don't. It is a completely rigged system. They say, go and join waiting. Join the looters to buy people to give you what? That's the system. They will rig it. They will then give you the choice. They will say, this person or that person. Why should they be the ones to decide this person or that person? Since they won't make you they won't let you have that choice. Why should you be part of it? But we cannot just say we won't vote now. But you have been voting. I mean, you have been voting. I've voted. I have voter's card. If I look at some of my Jagbajantis here, I can still find Nigeria's voter's card that I brought to the UK. I voted. I did vote too. What I voted for was good education, good healthcare, good road, electricity, good hospital, good jobs for the young people. 10 years ago or more. In 2023, they are going to be promising you the same thing. So what we did was to validate the fraud, to make it look legal. But you can stop it. Community outreach, having conversation with people. When you call them out to say, let's go out. Because they can picture themselves in the shoes of others. They are no longer selfish about themselves. They are no longer about, concern me. But I realize that is beyond just social media. It is a total, complete community networking. Just same way these politicians are doing, paying people to go into communities to lie to people that they have their care attached when they don't. but we'll get there. There's no rush. I'll continue to do my own part from here. So if you hear from them what they really want, maybe the Southern Nigeria can contribute that money or contribute that thing and give it to them. As long as what they want is not our lives, because it seems to be that's all what they want now, our lives or our land. That is not good for my future. It's not good for your future. And of course, it is unacceptable. Let those who have the opportunity to make a difference today, who are still playing hide and seek, see this, that those with this mindset, they will do anything to ruin and destroy us. And you cannot continue to excuse them. If they don't tell us what they want, yeah, I think we do know what they want. And we are not going to give that to them without a fight. Let their collaborators and friends in the Southern Nigeria still continue to harbor and keep them now for now. But trust me, a generation that is coming that will not be patient enough to listen to these old men who are feeding off Nigeria. Because then they will tell you, why should we save Nigeria? That will be the question. The generation that will take us out of here. They will say, why should we save Nigeria? Did Nigeria save us when we needed Nigeria? The answer will be no. And all these tyrants and their friends, they'll probably be long dead. That is why, heed my call today. Take it upon yourself. Talk to somebody. Befriend them. Don't argue with them. Don't try to fight them. Don't try to convince them. Just engage them. Excuse me, we have, hang on. I will be back. I think I'm having a camera issue for some reason, even though I'm already rounding up. But again, I will be back in a minute.
Well, that's a very unfortunate comment by the Attorney General, Malami.
Oh, you do I call. Oh, Mary, Mama Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Nnamdi go onye do I more. O Mary Wonendizu Mbiroya Abakare Mamanda Mora Unapuri Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unapuri Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unapuri Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unapuri Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unapuri Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unapuri Mary Nnamdi.
Sorry. So I had I had something that touched my battery earlier, so my camera died. So, but I'm almost done now. Okay. So my last part of the message is that please remember, go out there, talk to people, speak to them like friends. Okay. Tell them that their choice endanger many of us for their continued support for a country that doesn't really care for them, especially for those in charge of that country that doesn't care for them, right? They can change that and they can actually take their destiny into their own hand by choosing a battle that is worth it. The one that their children will be proud of them when they grow up to hear about it, okay? There is no future for Nigeria. They have taken everything. They are now looking for an opportunity to say maybe somebody was going to give them a debt relief. Nigeria is in serious debt and it's not even growing, right? They say Nigeria population is growing by 3-point-something%, yeah? But Nigeria economy is growing by -2%. That's in negative. Seriously. They have a plan to spend 16 trillion or 17 trillion in 2022. From that money,
They are already budgeting almost 4 trillion to service debts. And debt servicing is not repayment of debt. It's just like paying interest on the money you borrowed. Okay. So if you stop paying it, it's going to skyrocket. However, they have already devalued your naira totally, completely. 4 trillion to service debts, right? And they are going to borrow 6 trillion because they don't even have the money for the budget. They're going to borrow 6 trillion and they're going to squeeze water out of the rock of many of you. As much as unemployment is biting, that means government revenue will be dwindling. If you know they work, that means you won't get money to spend. And if you are not working, government can't get tax. So what they do now is that they are robbing everybody, including dead people. Imagine going into, they call it a dormant account. Dormant accounts are the accounts of that people have not come back to claim. Most of those they call dormant accounts, they believe that the owners of accounts are dead. They call CBN and say how much they did. That one told them that they have they have almost 100 billion there. Boko Haram government said we should take it. They are dead anyway. They are not going to need the money. Stealing from the dead. For those of you who are keeping your tashere torokobo inside their bank there, they develop different ways of stealing from you, picking your pockets, different taxes. They raise your VAT up. But guess what? That won't make them richer. It's making Nigeria poorer on many fronts. They have devalued your naira beyond redeemable now. They've devalued beyond redeemable. And they continue to borrow, which means they will continue to devalue it. So, I don't know where that future will be. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know what that hope is. But we have something that we cannot click on to save the rest. Save those who are still alive now. If they will have the opportunity to still be, then join hands and cut it off for your own sake. What they have done, I don't know how you're going to recover from that. But again, this is not going to be a competition, okay? Just talk to people. And we look forward to we look forward to the appearance of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in their court on next week. It should be next week at the 21st, right? It should be, I think it should be about Thursday or Friday. I'll find out. But if they don't bring him to court, ladies and gentlemen, we can only imagine what is going to happen afterward. And I don't see them bring him to court. With what his lawyers have reported to us so far, they are not ready. They want him to be kept incarcerated, unattended, illegally for as long as they want. That can bring peace. Somebody should go and tell them. If you have anything you want to make happen at all, right? Get them to start looking into people's demand. Their demand is referendum until when they won't be in the position to grant such. When revolution sweeps through Nigeria, which is going to happen, if they continue this way, yeah, by the time revolution sweeps through into Nigeria, they won't be the one to now give the people referendum anymore. The people will give themselves the referendum. We are saying this now, all right? Probably to save them and to save ourselves. But if this is violence they want, well, at some point, I think the people will tell them that they don't have the monopoly of the violence. Let the people who are, they call them the leaders of thought, I think, right? They should begin to speak up now, congregate enough, and begin the process of ending the bloodbath in eastern Nigeria, get Nnamdi Kanu freed, get Oloye Sunday Igboho freed, and begin the conversation of that I call the national dialogue, something that would then put all the questions on the table. What is this thing that will make us to be part of Nigeria, and under what condition? If they don't do it, when the revolution sweeps through, which is going to be so spontaneous, and nobody will be responsible to say, we are the one who started it, or we are the one who led it. It will be spontaneous enough that everybody will begin to speak one language. Revolution. At that point, the people will be the ones to give themselves new constitution, the referendum, and everything they are asking you, who are enjoying the benefit today, to give to them peacefully. I will drop here. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. And to my super chat, super sticker donors, thank you. I've not seen that in a while. I don't know what happened, but it's so kind of cool when you see all those colors, right? So thank you very much to every one of you. Nobody, my dear brother, nobody. Nobody is somebody, by the way. I met him in London, a great guy. Thank you very much to every one of you. I'm going to draw the curtains, yeah? My friends on YouTube, do me a favor, as usual, just before you go, leave that like button and then dislike button as well. My friends on Facebook, it's been a wonderful night, a long one, but thank you very much for staying back. Somehow, it seems that Facebook is beginning to release my page. I'm beginning to see many of you coming on lately. 1,000, 1,002, 1,000 something, right? That's quite good. Listen, it's not because anything changes. It's because Facebook probably chose to start releasing you little by little. Mayegun's Diary Political on Facebook is a platform whereby you could actually get up to 5,000 to 10,000 people watching Mayegun live. But that was stopped a year ago when Facebook stopped 90% of my reach, including my followers, and they begin to take them off one by one. So if you have over 1,000 people watching right now, I say, welcome back. Thank you. Some of them I say, Mayegun, it's good to see you again. I've not seen you in a year. Well, I've always been here. Facebook just didn't want you to see me, right? So thank you so much for your time. I'm going to see all of you some other time. Stay safe and tell others freedom is far, far better than slavery. And in both, all comes down to choice. Make your choice. I've made mine, and I will live with it and die with it. For the Arewans, if they answer you, please tell me, what exactly do they want from southern Nigeria for us to have our peace? I'll see you some other time.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Prẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òkúra olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹ̀rùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.